Ask her to open the trunk.
Gun! Pressure on 2 minutes to EMS. Parallel to Duquesne. Suspects in a gold BMW. On the ground!
What's your name? I remember you.
Imagine your girlfriend being kidnapped, and the only way to save her is to survive 12 life-or-death challenges. Would you be able to do it? The story begins with Danny Fisher, a New Orleans police officer living with his girlfriend, Molly Porter. One night, Danny and his partner, Hank Carver, are patrolling the city streets when elsewhere, the FBI is closing in on an international arms dealer and terrorist named Miles Jackson. The FBI plans to capture Miles with the help of an informant named Samuel, who works with Miles and has agreed to cooperate in exchange for his brother's release. When Miles arrives to meet Samuel, the operation quickly falls apart. Samuel suddenly reveals that the meeting is an FBI setup and shoots Miles in the chest. He then tells the FBI agents that he will hand Miles over only if they release his brother. Samuel loads Miles into a van and drives away while the FBI scrambles to respond. It is soon revealed that Miles was wearing a bulletproof vest and that he and Samuel were working together all along. Once they escape, Miles double-crosses Samuel and kills him, leaving no loose ends. That same night, Danny and Hank receive a call to be on the lookout for Miles Jackson. Miles soon meets up with his girlfriend, and the two drive through the city.
Right on time, baby.
Aren't I always? Show me.
While stopped at a traffic light, Danny notices the woman in the passenger seat and recognizes her from FBI surveillance footage. Sensing something is wrong, Danny pulls the car over. The stop appears routine at first, but Danny insists on checking the trunk.
Ask her to open the trunk.
When he opens it, Miles is hiding inside and immediately opens fire. Hank is wounded in the exchange, and Miles flees. Danny chases Miles on foot, but during the pursuit he drops his gun and is unable to retrieve it. Despite being unarmed, Danny continues the chase. Thinking quickly, he pushes a large boat into the street, causing Miles's vehicle to crash into it. Miles's girlfriend attempts to escape on foot, but is struck and killed by an oncoming vehicle. Miles is finally arrested and taken into custody. As he is led away, he stares at Danny and warns him that he will remember him. Exactly 1 year later, Danny wakes up on the anniversary of that night. He is still living with Molly, but their relationship is strained and tense. That morning, a plumber is fixing their bathroom while Molly leaves for work. Shortly afterward, Danny receives a phone call from an unfamiliar number. The caller is Miles Jackson. Miles reveals that he has escaped from prison and has been watching Danny and Molly closely. Danny runs outside just moments before an explosion rips through his home, killing the plumber. Miles calmly announces that this was round 1. He tells Danny that since Danny took something from him that could never be replaced, now he plans to do the same to Danny. Realizing Molly is in danger, Danny rushes to find her. He arrives just as she is boarding a boat and narrowly misses her. Desperate, he steals a nearby car and chases after the boat, calling Hank and explaining what is happening. When the boat finally docks, Danny calls Molly's phone. Miles answers instead. He confirms that Molly has been kidnapped and tells Danny that if he wants to see her alive again, he must play a game called 12 rounds. If Danny completes every round, Molly will survive. Miles tells Danny that round 2 has already ended and immediately begins the next challenge. For round 3, Danny must locate a specific cell phone somewhere in the city before Miles calls it within 15 minutes. Miles tells him to start looking where they first met. Danny and Hank return to the location where Miles was arrested the year before. There, they find coordinates spray-painted on a nearby building. The coordinates lead them to a fire station where Danny's brother works. Danny and Hank race to the location and arrive just as the 15 minutes expire. They hear a phone ringing inside a nearby store. Danny answers it, and Miles congratulates him on completing the challenge. As a reward, Miles grants him extra time for the next round. Miles then announces round 4. Danny must retrieve 2 safety deposit boxes from the New Orleans Savings and Loan Building, which is currently on fire. The boxes are located on the top floor, and Danny has only 20 minutes to retrieve them.
Hey, focus.
Danny rushes into the burning building, fighting through smoke, flames, and collapsing debris to reach the boxes. As soon as Danny escapes the building with the boxes, Miles calls again and announces that round 5 has begun. One of the boxes contains a bomb, and the other contains a clue for the next round. Danny must reach Nickel Street in less than 7 minutes or the bomb will explode. Realizing the stairs will take too long, Danny uses a cable to rappel out of a window. He steals a fire truck and races through the streets, barely making it to Nickel Street in time. He hears ticking from one box and throws it into the water just before it detonates. The clue inside the second box leads Danny and the FBI to a hotel. Using a key card, Danny enters a room and finds disturbing photographs of Molly tied to a bed. The FBI reviews security footage and sees Miles inside the hotel holding a sign that reads, "We are still here." They also see Miles speaking with a hotel employee named Willie. Danny finds Willie and asks him about Miles. Willie leads Danny to an old service elevator that goes up to the roof. As the elevator ascends, it suddenly stops. Inside, Danny finds a small laptop playing a video of Molly. In the video, Molly explains that the elevator will fall in 60 seconds and that only one person can survive. A countdown begins. Danny frantically cuts through the ceiling of the elevator and tries to save both himself and Willie. He manages to get Willie partially out, but time runs out. The elevator drops and Willie falls to his death while Danny narrowly survives by clinging to the elevator shaft. Shaken and emotionally drained, Danny receives another call from Miles. The FBI urges Danny to keep Miles talking so they can trace the call, but Miles realizes what they are trying to do and hangs up before they succeed. He calls back moments later and warns Danny not to try it again. Miles then reveals that the next clue is hidden in a photograph in the hotel lobby. Danny solves the riddle and finds a note directing him to the intersection of Claiborne and Toulouse streets. When Danny arrives, he notices a city bus numbered 5050. Realizing this is the next step, he boards the bus. Inside, Danny finds Molly sitting among the passengers. Relief quickly turns to horror when he sees that she has a bomb strapped to her body. Miles is also on the bus. He handcuffs Danny and explains that for this round, Danny's only task is to let him walk away. Miles is holding a trigger device, and if he removes his finger from it, the bomb will explode, killing Molly and everyone on the bus. As the FBI prepares to take a sniper shot, Danny intervenes, shielding Miles and Molly to prevent the bomb from detonating. The bus eventually comes to a stop, and Miles escapes once again, taking Molly with him. After Miles escapes from the bus with Molly, the FBI frees Danny from the handcuffs and regroups at the scene. Danny is shaken but determined to continue. He reunites briefly with Hank, who tells him that he has identified a man named Anthony DeLusso as an accomplice who helped Miles kidnap Molly. Hank heads out to track DeLusso down while Danny prepares for the next round. Miles soon contacts Danny again and begins the next challenge. He tells Danny that inside an envelope he left earlier are 5 phone numbers. 4 of the numbers are connected to bombs placed around the city, and calling any of them will trigger an explosion. Only 1 number will disarm all the bombs. Danny has 60 seconds to choose the correct number. Danny and an FBI agent attempt to analyze the numbers for a pattern, but time runs out. With no other option, Danny chooses a number at random and makes the call. Miles answers the phone and informs Danny that he chose incorrectly. He then announces that round 9 has begun. Miles explains that the brakes on a city streetcar have been disabled and that it is speeding out of control toward a crowded area. Danny immediately races to stop it, riding along with an FBI agent as they chase the streetcar through the city. When Danny reaches the streetcar, he positions his vehicle in front of it, then climbs onto the moving car. He attempts to disable the power system by breaking the control rod, but it fails. Danny jumps back into his vehicle and crashes it into a power transformer, damaging the electrical supply and slowing the streetcar. Despite his efforts, the streetcar is still moving too fast. Danny runs ahead, clearing civilians from the tracks just before the streetcar crashes. Though the car is destroyed, lives are saved. Miles calls again and coldly informs Danny that round 10 has already been completed. Hank has successfully captured Anthony DeLusso. Before Danny can react, Miles announces the next challenge. Round 11 has begun, and now Miles has taken Hank. Hank has followed DeLusso to an abandoned factory. There, DeLusso holds Hank at gunpoint, but soon realizes that Miles has betrayed him. An explosion detonates inside the factory, killing both DeLusso and Hank. Danny tries desperately to reach Hank by phone, but the call goes unanswered. When Danny learns of Hank's death, he is devastated, overwhelmed by guilt and anger. Miles contacts Danny once more and announces that it is time for the final challenge, round 12. Miles tells Danny that Molly is wearing a bomb that can only be disarmed using Danny's fingerprint. He instructs Danny to go to the cemetery and visit the grave of Miles's girlfriend, telling him to say he is sorry. As Danny and the FBI head toward the cemetery, another detective contacts Danny with troubling information. The detective explains that certain details do not add up. The elevator at the hotel fell 5 seconds early, and all 5 phone numbers were connected to the streetcar. Danny begins to realize that Willie, the hotel employee, was never meant to survive. Everything suddenly becomes clear. Danny realizes that the entire game was never about revenge. It was about money. Willie had a second job as a security guard at the Bureau of Engraving and Printing. Miles used Willie's security credentials to gain access to the building while the city was distracted by the chaos of the rounds. Disguised as a guard, Miles stole $100 million and dumped the money into the sewer system. Using the fire truck Danny had driven earlier, Miles later siphoned the money out of the sewer. Every round, every distraction, and every death was designed to keep the police and FBI focused elsewhere while Miles completed the theft. With this realization, Danny understands that Molly is not at the cemetery. She is still with Miles. Miles takes Molly to the hospital where she works, using her identification to access restricted areas. His plan is to escape by helicopter, forcing Molly to pilot it. Danny and the FBI race to the hospital, but arrive just as the helicopter lifts off from the rooftop. Danny runs and leaps onto the helicopter as it ascends. Inside, Danny and Miles engage in a brutal fight as the aircraft becomes increasingly unstable. The struggle causes significant damage to the helicopter and it begins to lose control. Danny eventually overpowers Miles and knocks him unconscious. As the helicopter spirals downward, Miles regains consciousness and activates the bomb he used earlier on the bus. With only seconds remaining, Danny grabs Molly and jumps from the helicopter into a rooftop pool on a nearby building. They hit the water safely just as the helicopter explodes in the air, killing Miles. Danny and Molly survive the fall and cling to each other, exhausted but alive. After enduring all 12 rounds, they are finally free. The nightmare is over.